Hi my loves, this is your cosmic weather report for this week. First of all, we're having a really bad rainstorm here right now, so I hope you can hear me okay, and whatever you can hear in the background, it's Mother Nature doing her thing. And it's actually really beautiful and really fitting for this week's weather report, because this week, as you would imagine, as the moon begins to wane now, this is a really big week for shedding, releasing and letting go. Now this process starts on Tuesday when we get Samhain or Halloween. This is a cross-quarter festival that celebrates now the beginning of winter. And it's a festival of allowing what needs to die away so that something new can be reborn. This was considered the Celtic and still to this day the witches' new year, because our ancestors understood that a new beginning and new growth doesn't come at the moment that it happens. It comes at the moment that we allow something to die away. So the new harvest that will come next year would begin now, when everything in Mother Nature was dying away and going beneath the earth to regenerate, to regather, to nourish, to send down deep roots so that it could grow again, be reborn again next spring. And so our ancestors didn't fear the darkness and things dying away. They celebrated knowing that in shedding and letting go of what's no longer needed, it opens up the beautiful space for something new to come in. And what's really interesting about this day is we've got Venus opposite Uranus on this day. Venus is relationships, especially relationship with self. It's about our values, it's about our self-worth, it's about what we want, need and desire. And Uranus is a planet of liberation and freedom and awakening. And so Venus and Uranus meeting on Samhain is a real invite to begin to free and liberate yourself. What prevents you from being all that you want? What prevents you from really getting what you want? What is it that stands in your way? And this is going to be a theme that really gets carried on throughout the week, as on Friday we get the Sun opposite Jupiter and Venus then opposite Neptune. Now, the Sun opposite Jupiter, the Sun is our identity, who we're here to be, how we're here to shine. It's often seen as our soul journey. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion, abundance, spirituality. And so as these two oppose each other, it can sometimes show us, where are you not allowing yourself to expand? Where are you not allowing yourself to be all that you can be? Where are you keeping yourself in that comfort zone that perhaps the eclipses showed you that you were in? Or where are you still holding on to those things that do keep you small so that you can't then begin to expand and grow? And with Venus opposite Neptune, this again is showing, where do you struggle to get what you want? Where do you prevent yourself from getting what you want? Where do you say that you want something and then behave in a way that says something else? Where do you say that you want this but you stay stuck there? And this is an invite for much deeper levels of self-worth. It's a real invite into self, of getting honest with yourself about, where am I holding myself back from what I want? And very often when we dig deep, we hold ourselves back because there's a little part of us that isn't sure that we can get it. So we prefer to play small. But if you felt stuck in your comfort zone lately, or things aren't quite working out for you, this week is such a beautiful invite to have that inner reflection and get really honest with yourself about where perhaps the levels of self-worth aren't there, that you don't really believe deep down that you can have what you want. So then you kind of get in your own way to getting there, and where there's perhaps a little bit more energy needed of turning inwards, of loving yourself, of really checking in with yourself. What is it I want? What is it I need? And where in my life am I not allowing myself this? Saturday then, we get Mercury opposite Uranus. Now, and this can bring flashes of insights, information, download, but it can also be quite busy in your mind. Mercury, the planet of communication, Uranus, the higher octave of Mercury. And we've spoken about Uranus already. It's the planet of kind of liberation, freedom, awakening. And so Uranus wants to really come in and free us and liberate us, but in doing so, it can feel like sometimes quite a lot of noise in our mind. So if you're feeling that, if you're feeling a little bit of the anxiety, the overwhelm, just spend a little bit of time around the weekend, just getting quiet, going inwards, getting still, perhaps doing some journaling, some brain dumping. If there's lots of ideas in here, getting them all down on paper. And then on Saturday, Saturn also stations direct. Now, Saturn's moving through Pisces. Saturn's now been retrograde and has gone back to 0 degrees of Pisces, so the very beginning of Pisces, which is really, really powerful. when Saturn moves through a sign, Saturn helps us to build foundations and structures in the different energies of that particular sign. So Saturn moving through Pisces is a real invite to create very deep spiritual foundations, very deep foundations of connection to source, God, goddess, divine, universe, whatever name you want to give it. Very deep connections to daily rituals, to anchoring into a place in yourself of real self-trust and self-belief, oneness, love, unity. So Saturn started a journey through Pisces, has now been retrograde, so kind of taking us back over the ground. Now at 0 degrees of Pisces, stations direct again. This is an invite to start over, to start again from a strong spiritual foundation. So if you have been finding that you have been getting in your own way of going after what you want, or you have been staying stuck in your comfort zone, or there is a little part of you that maybe doesn't believe that you can get what you want, so you hold yourself back from it, Saturn stationing direct is going to ask you to put those very strong spiritual foundations in place of believing in you, trusting in you and the universe and your life journey and your soul. And then from these structures, building that foundation of solid worth and solid belief that you can start to build upon. And so this is a really beautiful time to maybe think about some little daily rituals you can put in place. And that might just be hands over your heart every day, just checking in, just breathing, just going inwards. It might be pulling oracle cards every day and just listening to guidance and wisdom that wants to come through. It might be just letting yourself know every day that I trust you, you're doing well, you're doing your best, it's okay. But try to begin to find a real sense of anchored trust and belief that's going to be a foundation for you to be able to move forwards from. And then on Sunday, we get the last quarter moon. Now, this is a part of the lunar cycle that we're halfway then between full and new, and this is our big release point where as the moon is waning and getting smaller in the sky every night, she's really inviting us to let go of what we no longer need. And I will have had a really good idea of that all through the week with everything I've already mentioned to you. We're going to have an idea of our levels of self-worth, of how much we trust and believe in ourselves, of where we maybe get in our own way, of where we're staying in our comfort zones, of where we're not allowing ourselves to expand and really go after our dreams. And the last quarter moon being in Leo, Leo's all about the heart, and Leo's all about that lion energy, that bravery, that courage to really begin to let yourself shine and to begin to almost like take center stage of your own life. And so as we get that last quarter moon in Leo, this is going to be a really beautiful invite of that big release of what is it that really prevents you from shining in life? What is it that really prevents you from taking that center stage in your life? What is it that you still hold in your heart? Perhaps those old hurts and that old time that someone said something to you that made you shrink, and that one time that someone asked you, who do you think you are, that made you get a little bit smaller. And this is the time to really feel into everything that really stays heavy in our hearts, where we've closed our hearts off, where we tried to protect ourselves, and do that really big release then of anything that stops us from believing in ourselves, stops us from being brave, stops us from being bold, stops us from really shining and going after what we want in life. And so this is going to be such a big week for powerful realizations and powerful release. And so enjoy this week, use it. Go gently, we're still in kind of big eclipse energies as the moon starts to begin to wane and do her work with us of what she showed us and what she now wants us to let go of. But yeah, a really beautiful week for a lot of inner discovery and then really creating new foundations of self-worth, self-trust and self-belief, and letting go of what gets in the way of that so that then we can begin to move forwards in a different way. As always, I really hope this has helped. If you are interested in gathering together on Samhain, you want to get together with a group of sisters, a group of witches on Halloween. We're gathering together on Monday for Awaken the Witch Within. It's going to be an online workshop where I'm going to introduce you to one of my favourite dark goddesses, Hecate, and then you've got the option to get a week of work to do as well, which will include rituals and meditations and things like that. And otherwise, just enjoy this week. Lots of going inwards, lots of self-discovery, lots of releasing what's in the way. I will see you all really soon. Take care, my loves. So much love.